Welcome to SGT Times Explainer. I am Ashutosh. In today's explainer, we'll discuss in detail how Yale and Oxford are soon going to establish campuses in India. Have you ever wanted to study at Yale or Stanford but didn't have the funds to relocate to the United States? The University Grant Commission has issued draft rules that would allow international universities and educational institutes to establish campuses in India. On Thursday, January 5th, UGC Chairperson Mamidala Jagdish Kumar presented draft regulations from establishing campuses of foreign higher education institutions in nation by the National Education Policy 2020 and solicited public ideas and input. The aim to internationalize education is a step towards overhauling the country's severely controlled education industry, allowing Indian students to gain foreign degrees at a low cost and making India an appealing worldwide study destination. The move will also assist foreign institutions in reaching out the country's young population. Interestingly, while the Narendra Modi administration has taken this move to open up India's education industry, previous attempts to enable foreign universities to establish campuses in India have failed. The first occurred in 1995 when a bill was proposed but never passed. The draft bill could only reach the cabinet stage in 2005 and 2006. So which institution will be permitted to establish campuses in India? What are the qualifying requirements? What is the cost structure going to be? What program will be available? What are the reactions of academic and students? Which institutes are permitted to establish campuses in India? While introducing the draft regulations on Thursday, UGC Chairperson M. Jagdish Kumar stated that international institutions and higher education institutions will require UGC approval to establish campuses in India. He added that colleges that wish to establish campuses in India should be ranked in the top 500 of worldwide rankings overall or by topic. Universities with subject-wise rankings would be permitted to offer the same subjects on their Indian campuses. This implies that American colleges like Yale, Stanford and Harvard, as well as British schools like University of Cambridge and Oxford King's College may all establish campuses in India, allowing Indian students to get top-tier education without having to fly. The UGC chairperson stated unequivocally that colleges intending to establish themselves in India must provide full-time programs in physical mode rather than online or remote learning. What is the application process for these institutes? According to the proposed guidelines, the institutes that come to India would have the ability to create the admission procedure and criteria for admitting local and international students. All of these colleges will have a provision for need-based scholarships, Kumar added. The proposed law makes no mention of reservation standards for these overseas universities, implying that they will be allowed to determine whether or not to give reserve for certain students or their Indian campuses. What about cost and faculty? These foreign higher education institutions will choose their entrance method as well as their pricing structure. The UGC, on the other hand, has suggested that the fees be fair and clear. According to the information given to the Indian government, would not offer scholarships to students who enroll in such colleges. In terms of faculty, these institutes will be free to hire academics and personnel from India and outside under their hiring policies. It has the authority to determine the criteria, wage structure and other terms of service for appointing faculty and employees. They must, however, guarantee that the credentials of the selected professors are on par with the main campus of the nation of the origin. It should guarantee that foreign professors hired to teach on the Indian campus remain on the Indian campus for a fair amount of time. What courses do they offer? Foreign institutes visiting India will be permitted to provide undergraduate, postgraduate, doctoral, postdoctoral and other programs as well as degrees, diplomas and certificates in all fields. Furthermore, degrees issued to Indian students on national land would be regarded as equal to qualifications awarded by the institute's main campus. When will these institutes arrive in India? Students would have to wait for these international universities to visit India for some time. The document must be finished before the government is alerted. The good news is that it will be finished in the first half of 2023. Once accepted, universities would have 2 years to establish campuses in India and will be granted authorization for 10 years. The institute can then seek an extension 1 year before the time expires, assuming it in its 9th year of existence. Is this significant? It is indeed. Allowing foreign institutes to visit India will provide our kids with a better education. This would ensure that all our students, there is over 40 million seeking higher education, have access to world quality education, Kumar told Indian Express. At very least, the cost of living will be reduced as compared to studying abroad. Last year, approximately 4.5 lakh Indian students travelled abroad for education, which signifies a big outflow of wealth from India and also demonstrate that there is a tremendous enthusiasm among Indian students to study in international colleges, Kumar added. The move will enable those students who are poor or from low middle class households. This is because studying abroad is expensive, especially in countries like the United Kingdom and United States. Several students currently have the potential but don't have the means to afford education and are not able to go to the universities of their choice. But that could now be a thing of the past. The action will also assist to close the gap between college curricula and market needs, making the education sector more competitive. It is now placed 101 out of 133 nations in the 2022 Global Talent Competitiveness Index, which assesses a country's capacity to grow, attract and retain talents. What are students' reactions? Students are pleased with the new UGC regulation allowing the formation and operation of international colleges in the country, claiming that it will expose them to world-class learning without requiring them to travel overseas. Kritima Bapta, who plans to pursue her PhD in Europe, believes Indian students would benefit from the world-class knowledge of these universities. The education system in foreign colleges is more advanced, she was quoted as saying by the news agency PTI. Foreign universities provide a higher level of education. If they are permitted to establish campuses in India, Indian students would have access to world-class competence in innovation and research. Siddhant Gupta, aged 25, who is studying for his postgraduate degree online at a UK institution, told PTI that education system at overseas universities are more advanced. Foreign colleges provide a higher level of education, and if they are permitted to establish campuses in India, Indian students would gain greatly, he stated. That's all for today in SGT Explainer. Thanks for watching.